Hello, everyone. Welcome back to aventglitch. I hope you like and subscribe. So this fabric was actually given to me by a creative director or art director from some big brand owned by some billionaire company, billionaire family in America, some oil tycoon family. I don't know which family. It's the biggest one. I'm sure you can find it and Google it. I have, me and my billionaire statements. I am usually anti-billionaire for the most part. Because I just think they're evil and they're bad people. But that's my opinion. I think that that there's different opinions out there, and I know there's some billionaires that are not pure evil, yada yada blah blah blah. But anyways, yes, this she was an art director for one of those brands. I guess she's a personal stylist now or something, or a buyer for people. And yeah, and that she gave me this fabric because she wanted to see what I would make out of it. But it's funny because she told me to go on TikTok and like ask people for fabric, and every single time I post on TikTok, most of the time when I post on TikTok and have a post go viral, it's never positive. It's always these negative young kids that are always being evil and saying the meanest things. So like I'm not afraid to post on TikTok and ask for free fabric or tell my story or whatever. It's just that when I do it, when I post anything on TikTok, I just instantly get this like hate mob, and I don't want. It's just, I don't know. There's something about this hate mob that just like I don't want to spread it. So I have to like limit my comment section, and I have to like delete comments, and I have to do the other things. I don't want to do that, but like it's not my fault. I don't want to spread that hate. I don't want these. I don't want other people to be seeing the hate and then continuing that. And I just don't want that cycle to continue. Like one person loved all the hate and loved it so much that people were saying it. He went to my other post and said, "This is pathetic, by the way." He said, "Oh, guys, look at he made another pair of pants." Like, okay, like yeah, I've made so many. I make clothing like all day. Like that's what I literally do for a living. I make clothing, and I don't want someone to like start making clothing and then get all the hate too. But I think there's this one person that that I met through it, and she also deleted. Well, I could be wrong, but like I would just delete all the comments. I wouldn't want someone to I try to keep the good comments. But if it's just all this hate, I just delete them, and then I limit who can comment because I don't want Karens everywhere. Okay, Karens are annoying. Karens are not fun. I just want to do my own thing, do my own business. But anyways, yeah, this garment did take. I was sick when I was made it. It took me 15 hours. She gave me the fabric. I don't know what she thinks about it. She never made a comment, so I wouldn't. I don't even. At the end of the day, like, I made it, so that's all that matters to me personally. Like, she doesn't have to like it. She doesn't have to hate it. Whatever. I don't know. Like, but I still made it, and it's for sale. It's $975. I made it that way because I had to, because I changed my pricing because I'm making pants now, so I had to change my blazer pricing and my pants pricing. So had to replace the two. So I made my unlined blazers $500, and then I made my normal, and then I made my lined blazers $975 because it takes me a long time to put lining in and stuff like that. And also I try to do minimum $50 an hour because I think that's what I'm worth, and I don't care other people. And I get a whole bunch of hate comments on my pricing. Like no matter what I do, is people just hate, and I don't understand. Like what I'm not even saying anything. Like I'll call you a Karen, but like because that's Karen behavior. But apparently, me saying calling someone a Karen is an insult now, after they're insulting me, which doesn't make any sense to me. These kids make no sense. I don't know. They need to they have like a brain aneurysm or something in their head or something, or they just don't care. They just want to spread hate. Like no love, no care. Like I'm like, and then one of them opened up to me at one point because one of them was going on and saying that no one liked my patchwork, so therefore I stopped making patchwork. I was like, okay, so you're telling me that because no one liked it, and when you were selling it, you were just getting hate for it, so therefore you just stopped. You just quit. And he said, "Yep." And I'm like, okay, well, you don't have to be bitter about it and get mad at me about it. And then he started being nice again. I don't understand what that change was of all of a sudden being really mean and just saying like quit, and then like, well, I quit because no one liked my stuff, so now I just do it for me, and I don't I don't get people. Like I hate people. This is it. At the end of the day, I hate all people. Like I don't know what else to say. People suck because of these reasons. Now I know the person who gave me the fabric is nice and kind, and I have a lot of people that support me and they love my work, and I love all of I love that you love my work, and I love that, and I love sharing it with you, and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, Like I think there's more people that are like you out there, but they just don't want to admit it because they're just jealous or they're just in pain or their life sucks and they're miserable. Oh, I was miserable when I was younger. I was so miserable when I was younger. I have empathy, but I only could take so much, nonsense because I don't like to be teared down. Like I want to be, brought up. I want to feel good. I don't want to feel terrible anymore. Like I want to feel like I'm actually worthy of something. I actually care about what I do and what I love, and I want to do it at my own pace. And if my pace makes you insecure, that's your own fault. And if my pace makes you feel like I'm cutting corners, that's your own fault. Don't buy it. Don't even comment. Just leave me alone. Like I leave you alone. I don't see you posting anything, but if I did, I could be friends with you. You don't have to be enemies. Like, but you choose to be enemies every single time for some reason. I don't understand what it is. Like, and there's people out there that I'm just like, I'm like people that I'm not saying you're ride or die, but at least like you're cordial and you like we could like be friendly towards each other and like whatever, you know what I mean? Like we could just agree that sewing's fun and we just enjoy it no matter what we make, and if we make it, it's cool because we put time and effort and energy into it. Who cares how it looks? Who cares what other people think? I don't, but they do. They think it's the biggest. They think the second that they bring their little hate mob, that I'm gonna quit. Well, newsflash, I'm not. I'm never going to. So like I even have big people in the fashion industry that like my stuff, or people that worked in the fashion industry that like my stuff. I mean, people in the fashion industry taught me how to cut and sew. So I have like actual like backing of people that actually know what they're doing. You know what I mean? So like it wasn't like I just didn't learn from YouTube tutorials. Like lots of these things I do are super complicated and really complex and really hard to do. But I could just do it in a shorter amount of time because I put in the effort of learning how to do the basics. That's all that it is, because you build up projects. You build up projects, and every single time you do something new in the new project, you can bring it to the next project. And it doesn't make sense at first, but eventually it does make sense. Okay, and it just keeps on adding up, project after project after project. You just get faster and faster and faster and faster and faster every single time you do it. And it just like, why can't I challenge myself? Have the fun to challenge myself. I'm gonna do it, and I don't care what they think or say, because it's just me. It's just what I love, and I'm also on the autism spectrum. So on top of that, they're literally like insulting a mentally disabled person. So like they don't care. They don't care. They don't care about you or your disorder or anything like that. Like those cyberbullies make people do horrible things to themselves, and they don't care. They have no remorse for it. Like I don't know if they're sociopaths or if they're just angry or if I know they have miserable lives. I feel so bad for them. That's all I have to do. I just feel so sad for all these people. And they just keep on laughing at what other people do. I'm like, how and then I see them do like weird Drake behavior things, like talking about how they don't want their girl to leave them, and like like this performative weird sadness that's something that Drake would do, which doesn't make any sense because Drake has been under fire, and like he also talks about songs where he texts woman 100 times and for their attention, and like, why don't you love me back, and like that's exactly what they're doing. So they're sad and miserable Drake people. I don't know if they're incels or what, but they certainly act like they're incels. I mean, to me, Drake is an incel, so maybe not a classical normal incel, but he's a version of an incel, and I think they all lean towards that Drake incel weird behavior thing. I personally don't like those people, so I'm already not going to be friends with them, but I'm totally okay with them just like, I'm glad that they're outing themselves, so I could just block them or delete their comments and not let them comment again, because they can't comment, now, because I turned on all the creator peace mode or whatever it's called on TikTok, and it's always on TikTok. I don't know why. Instagram, it doesn't happen as much. It happens on Instagram, but it doesn't happen as much on Instagram, which doesn't make any sense to me. But TikTok and YouTube, it doesn't really happen on YouTube all that much. Like, I have my, hello moderators if you're watching, thank you. But, stuff like that. But this garment was fun to make. I was sick. It did take me 15 hours, because I was sick. But, like, yeah, there's no corners cut here. Everything here was just, like, really just me, like, this is me doing it slowly in comparison. Because if I wasn't sick, I would have probably done it in 7-8 hours. But, I can't change the fact that I was sick. So, it also took me over days to do it, too. So, like, I don't understand these people talking about slow down and cutting corners. Like, this garment took me a long ass time to cut and sew. So these kids like don't know what they're talking about. And like if you start something and if you know your stuff is good and if you want to do it and you put it in a marketplace and you don't have to, you should not care about what people think because you know what you did and you know how you learned it and you know how you put yourself and applied yourself on there. I always I always apply my strengths to every single garment that I do. I'm not a perfect garment constructor. I'll admit that. I'm not like top. I'm not my mentors. I'm not Veronica, and I'm not Linda. They're like old fashioned cut and sew. So like everything is so perfect. Everything is well put together, well thought out. I'm not like that. I like deconstructed. I like punk fashion. I like things that look like the corners are cut, but the corners aren't actually cut. Like it's sewn really well, solidly, amazingly put together. But like I also like it to look like it's falling apart and make it look like that. That's hard to do. What I do is really hard to do. Like my stuff is not easy to do. Okay, I even have bigger designers steal my stuff all the time. So like, well, I don't know what these kids are talking about, saying that I can't. Like, there's also bigger designers have like if they don't have factories, they have like 4 to 5 seamstresses cutting and sewing for them too. So like in reality, I'm doing this all by myself. Like 15 hours is a lot of work for one person, and that takes a toll on your body. And I was sick. Like I don't think I cut and sewed for like another like week, maybe 6 days after this garment. I was just out of it. And then I started making pants, I think, after this. Yeah, I don't even remember. I can't tell you. But yeah, like I just enjoy this and I love it, and I love challenging myself to make a garment faster and faster and faster every single time. I kind of get upset if I make a garment slower every single time because I'm like, I want to get it faster. I like making garments fast. I like trying different things. I like doing different things. I like patch pockets. I don't like pockets that take me 5 hours. Like people don't know what a blazer is. This is that one person that I mentioned earlier. He commented how a blazer's like you mentioned you didn't add pockets. Like blazers don't have pockets, kid. Most of them don't, and most if they do, they're fake. Okay, they don't actually work. They seal them off. So I don't know what this person was on. I don't know what drug they were on. I don't know if they were smoking. I don't know if they were at a skate park. I don't know if they were actually listening to anything that I said. That garment sold. Mason, you have it. You love it. So, like, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't have pockets. Whatever. I'm not perfect all the time. And also, once again, blazers don't usually have pockets. So I was experimenting with the thought of pockets. And Mason said, I don't know what to do with my hands. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just start adding pockets to the blazers because maybe someone, like Mason would like to do something with their, to put their hands somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't think about that because I don't use pockets. I literally use a bag everywhere. So I have a kangaroo pocket on my hoodie, but my blazer doesn't have pockets because once again, that's normal for blazers. So like I wasn't thinking about what people actually wanted or didn't want. Now for my brother's blazer, I put pockets on there because of his, because he's on the autism spectrum too. So I thought he would need that. But then I was thinking, well, if there's more people on the autism spectrum that buy my stuff, maybe they all want pockets on their blazers. And then I would have a blazer that even stands out even more on top of the silhouette. It would stand out with the pockets. Now, on pockets, I could just do patch pockets. I could do wonky, unique patch pockets like every single time, like I do with my hoodies now. I never thought about that, but I can always change, and that's the beauty of it. Just because I don't want to spend more than 10 minutes or 15 minutes on a pocket doesn't mean I'm cutting corners. It just means that I just want to quickly get it done. I want to execute it in 10 minutes because I like technique and I like making sure my technique gets fast. I rather do it fast and good than slow and bad. Because actually, when I go slower, sometimes I do it even worse because I make more mistakes. Like I'm in so many mistakes in this garment. You know what I mean? But I like mistakes. I think mistakes look great. But people always say, "Oh, mistakes equals cutting corners." No, mistakes equals you just won it. You just made it with a mistake. Like you look at Amish people. They actually hand sew in like candlelight and everything like that. And you look at they actually put actual mistakes in their garments on purpose to show that it's handmade. Okay, I like machines. I like using my machines. So so it goes way faster. So when I do it, I use my machine. Remember this one person on TikTok it's always TikTok. I don't know what's up with TikTok. I don't know why TikTok hates me so much. I don't know if I'm even there. But I have some really good connections on TikTok too. So like it's only like I don't know what it is. Like I met some like some really good people on TikTok that I enjoy, and I enjoy reposting their content, watching their content, and stuff like that. And we're like friends on TikTok and everything. But I don't know what it is. There's something about TikTok that just like these kids just like slander and hate and just like bring all this negativity. Like I try to like ignore it, but like I'll call them Karens, and then I'm the horrible one for calling them Karens. It doesn't make any sense to me. They're just weird. They're weird people. I don't get TikTok. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, this blazer, yeah, it has lace patch pockets on it. Okay, so maybe I could have made them. Maybe I could have cut them in a unique shape. Okay, but whatever, that's fine. Like I don't have to do that because I didn't feel like it at the time. But now, maybe next time, I'll keep that in mind and do that so I can have something unique every single time. Oh, I'll do this. I'll do that. I'll do that. Like so, it's just not me, doing something, doing the same every single. So, you know what I'm trying to say. I like unique things. I think they're cool. I think they're fun. Yes, but I think I just like the fabric sometimes, and sometimes I don't want to put a pocket on it. So, that's another thing. Like, there's always these different thoughts and things going in my head when I'm just doing. I'm literally like jazz. This is like jazz to me. Like you don't go to a jazz musician and say, I didn't like that one note that you used during this one song, and it's like the jazz musician's like, well, I've been doing this for years, and I just wanted to change it up. So like you don't do that. You don't go around to that jazz musician and say that. So it's the same thing with me. I'm literally improvising everything, like on the fly. I have aphantasia. I can't see things in my head, so I don't know what these things look like until they're finished, literally. And I don't even remember I don't even remember what the hell they look like after they're done, unless they're in front of my eyes. I can't remember anything. Like I literally cannot physically see things in my head. And I don't know, like I said, these kids like to make fun of mentally disabled people. So, I think they're horrible people. I really think they are. I really think they should, like, go and get help and, like, figure things out and not be assholes all the time to people. Because I'm just doing my thing. That's it. Like, no matter, even if I say something, they hate me. If I say nothing, they hate me. If I call them Karens, they hate me. No matter what, they just constantly hate. I'm like, how I feel so like you only can feel bad for them at this point because they don't want to do anything else in their lives, or they started something and then like I remember my cousins being like this. I only saw my cousin do like one thing in his whole life, and I was proud of him just to see it. But then he stopped doing it, and it wasn't that good. But like he could have worked hard and got better at it, and he didn't want to do that because hard work is hard. So that's the same thing here. There's just a whole bunch of internet hate mob people that tried something, got hated for it, and then gave up. Like that's the exact. That's it. That's all it is. And they're constant, and that's why I just don't care. And that's why I just delete the comments. And that's why I tell them you can't comment on here anymore. Because I just don't want them. I don't want them near me, and I don't want my audience near them. Because I care about the people watching me. Like I don't want my friends to read a whole bunch of hate comments. I don't want them to feel bad that day. Like I want them to feel. I want them to read like good things, even if it's just one good comment. I rather bring them up, not bring them down, because I don't know if they're gonna read the comments. They like my posts, and I don't want them to I don't want them to go and defend me and say all these things about these people. I don't want them to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered. I just want to be in peace. I just want to make my thing. I don't care if it even sells. That's the problem. Like I don't know what this. I don't even know what. The person who gave me this fabric, she never said anything about this garment, and I made it, and I don't know what she thinks about it, and I'm okay with that. Like I don't even know if she even saw it, but I still did it, and this is what I did, and I love it, and I care about it, and yeah, just like everything else that I do, I deeply care and love about everything that I cut and sew, and I love the whole process of it. If it takes me 4 hours, and if it takes me 15 hours, I love every minute of it, but I just want to get it done fast, efficiently, and as good as possible. And that's not me cutting corners. That is me just existing the way I want to. And I think that is okay. And I don't understand why people are like that. But anyways, I hope you like and subscribe. And hope you have a great day. I hope you learned something. Hope you feel better. I hope you, don't listen to the haters. Goodbye. Thank you. Okay, everyone. This is what the garment is. This is what it looks like. Hold on. Let me... This is my anti-establishment garment. This is how I think of the system. And this is my submission to it. Might be bad, good, wrong. I made it. Yeah, it could be more polished, but sometimes I don't like to do things super polished on purpose. I don't know why. And that's just who I am as a person. I didn't grow up perfect, so maybe that's why I don't do it perfectly. But I do care. It's about the message with this one. But anyways, yeah, that's me. Okay, I'm gonna go take a photo. And sew it on later or something. Actually, I know where to put it. I'm gonna fuck with everyone. As I tend to do. Because you know me. Name one thing that I ever do right. Okay. Microphone on. I got the flipping inside out, don't I? Okay. Now it's done. Let's see. Wrong side. I mean, for the most part, you know, to do that one thing, but then. Yep, that's it. That's the garment. I'm gonna try it out one more time for everyone, and then I'm gonna go because I'm tired. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all liked. Hope you all enjoy the VOD later. I'm gonna have to edit it down a little bit, you know, to make sure it can fit the 12-hour long period. But that's okay, you know. There's some parts that I can just be talking, and then. Yep, this is it. This is the garment. This is my anti-establishment garment that I made. But, yeah, like it or not, This was my idea. Okay. Never do anything right. Oh, yeah. But anyways, hope you all have a great day. I love the way that did the zipper here. It looks so weird. I just love how weird it looks. I don't know why. I just love weird looking things that don't look right. It's just me. But anyways, hope you all have a great night, great day, great week, whatever you want to watch this. I hope you learned something. Anyways, bye. Thank you.